It's time to roll, time to slay, time to loot. Grab your dice, ready up, let's go!
Alrighty, it is the year 1498, after Convergence, a time when the veils between realms were torn and rewoven, when gods once distant stirred the tapestry of the world anew. Since then, Celestria has flourished, fractured, and found its breath again, but beneath this golden age, shadows stir. We start today in our 0.5 sessions as we introduce ourselves to new characters, new adventurers, on a brand new story within the Chronicles of Celestria, on the world of Celestria itself. Far out on the eastern edge of the continent of Veridstra, nestled between emerald wilds and mountain mists, rises the radiant city of Sylvanthal, capital city of the elves, and seat of harmony, magic, and ancient law. Its walls gleam with polished marble, veined with silver and etched with runes older than language itself. Colourful rooftops rise and fall in layered terraces, blues, greens, and golds that catch the morning sun like gemstones. Elegant bridges span a crystal-clear river that winds through the city's heart before spilling eastward into the sea. The architecture curves like nature itself, graceful arches, flowering balconies, towers crowned in ivy and glass. Every street sings with light and symmetry. Every plaza, every district tells a tale in mosaic and sculpture. Elven culture breathes in every stone, proud, beautiful, and eternal. But in a city steeped in grace and peace, even the gentlest winds can carry the scent of unrest. And somewhere, far beneath the music and the marble, our story begins. Welcome, everybody, to the Chronicles of Celestria. We begin our very first adventure. Coming up the road, we see a gentleman coming up the road towards a marble gate. Before him lies a moat with rivers and lily pads stretching off it. You've got all sorts of fish and fauna around the area. Before you lies a gate in marble with turrets and castle fortress-like features on every corner. You can see that there are men up top next to braziers, lit with a sort of golden hue to it. They flicker beside what appear to be city watchmen clad in green and silver. Below them lies the drawbridge, which appears as though it's been lowered for some time, as though it's never truly been raised. And on the end of the drawbridge stands a guard, watching passers-by with calm. As coming up the road to Sylvanthal City, we invite our first player, Diego, to introduce himself to us.
Okay, so you see Diego the Lucky, known by many, a human man who is roguishly handsome. He's a wanderer whose charm precedes him. Standing at around 5'8", he boasts a tanned Hispanic complexion. He's got shaggy brown hair, which defies the very concept of bedhead. It always falls to place completely effortlessly, framing his striking features. A thin and carefully maintained mustache and goatee accentuate his jawlines, and he has a mesmerizing green eyes that sparkle with a hint of secrets behind them. You see Diego is wearing a sleeveless green and gold tunic that sways with his every movement. He wears brown slacks and sturdy boots to complete his practical yet stylish ensemble. He has strapped to his back a large backpack with various different camping supplies and traveling trinkets and treasures along the way, all neatly packed in with a few tent poles and canvas on his back as well. And then also on his back, all tightly neatly strapped in, you see a dark blue and silver mandolin. It is exquisite and very clearly the prized possession of Diego the Lucky. And you can see that this is clearly a very expensive musical artifact that is a piece of art as well as a source of music. And that's who is he's also currently got bags under his eyes, and he looks a little bit tired as he's kind of like walking towards the gates.
Perfect. Thank you very much for introducing us to Diego, the human bard, as he walks up towards the gate. You can see that before you, Diego, as described, you have this massive gate in what appears to be a marble wall with ivy going up either side, and you've got these turrets with lit braziers. You've got flags that are flapping in the wind. Around you, you can smell what appears to be that sort of fresh forest air as you're sort of stepping away from the forest towards the city. Before you, you can see through the archway, which has a sort of gold, elven, sort of intricately designed stone archway. You can see through there. There appears to be what looks like a wooden platform that takes you into the city. And as that goes on, it sort of curves around with townsfolk and store shops and all sorts leading down this path that seems to go on for ages. You can't actually see the end of it. It sort of fades into the mist. What you feel around you is above you, there are clouds coming overhead. It looks as though it's been a beautiful morning. There's a fresh breeze going by. Everything seems still, but you're aware that there is clouds starting to form, coming towards you from the distance. It's in your best interest to get away from what could be a storm on the horizon, especially with only a tent. And before you, you see a gentleman standing on the bridge. He looks over to you. He goes, "Hello? Who goes there? Hello?"
Oh, hello there, my friend. The name is Diego. Who might I be introduced to?
Hello? Who are you introduced to? I'm the city watchman.
Yes.
I let people in and out of the city here. As you can see, he sort of looks back and looks towards the people behind him and the gate, and he goes, "This is my entrance to the city. If you're interested in stepping on through, I'd need to know your business and why you're here. The name's Clyde."
Oh, good to meet you, Clyde. Well, as I said, Diego. My friends call me Diego the Lucky, and may I just say, you are truly the lucky one in this case for meeting me. I have come to this fair city for a place to stay, a place to rest my head, a place to find a comfy bed for the evening. This tent is good, but it's no feathered pillow, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so you're saying, is it business or pleasure? As you can see, he's sort of reaching into behind him to pull out what looks to be, it's parchment papers, which seem to have been clasped together in some way by something woven by maybe vines and stones. As he sort of flips it open, and he pulls out what appears to be a bit of broken charcoal and begins to sort of write down. You can see there's a few pages have gone through here, not so many, but a couple pages of parchment he's flipped open, and he sort of has his charcoal. As you can see, he begins to write down. It was Diego, was it?
It was, yeah, Diego the Lucky.
Diego.
You asked the question, business or pleasure? Well,
Yeah.
wherever I go, it's always pleasure, but a little hint of business here or there, I'm sure.
Of course. Right, well, it looks like you've got quite a itinerary on you. As he sort of, you can see he looks around you. You've got this, you've described this, this sort of bag. You put your arms out.
I have to say, I do not carry any weapon besides my wit and charm, of course.
Okay. As you can see, he sort of looks you up and down. Can I have a persuasion check from you, please? Just
Sure.
to see whether he believes you immediately on what you're saying. He has had a good look at you. He's seen around your sides with a 21.
Yeah, 17 plus 4, 21.
He looks you up and down. Goes, he sees the loot, I imagine, as well, the sparkling jewel of your sort of person.
I'm pointing at it.
Right, well, a traveling bard, I see. Well, please, make your way inside. Is there anywhere in particular you're trying to go, anything you're looking for?
Point me at your closest alehouse. That'll do.
The alehouse, well, there's a nice one in the center of town. It goes by the Crescent Oak. It's just past the marketplace. You know what? Here, as he pulls out another piece of parchment, he sort of tears it off, and you can see he's scribbling something. Here, take this. As he gives you a piece of paper, it's a very crudely drawn.
Oh, I do apologize. I don't sign anything on the first introduction. But look,
no. It's simply to lead you to where you need to go. I didn't realize.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought you were an adoring fan. Yes, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Clyde, was it?
Clyde, yes.
Yes, maybe I'll see you in the alehouse, friend, okay?
In the Crescent Oak. Well, I'm here until at least tomorrow, but if you're still there, then maybe I'll see you there.
Good. Well,
Perfect.
It was a pleasure to meet you, and it was a pleasure for you to meet me too. So, I'll be on my way.
And you, and of course. Be on your way. As you can hear behind you, there appears to be carriages and horses coming up the road as well. And he sort of looks to see who's coming up as he sort of, he shuffles you along politely, but in a way that's like, okay, yes, perfect. As you continue...
Yeah, with a little skip to my step, I head on over the drawbridge.
As you get across the drawbridge, you enter what appears to be a sort of guard gatehouse. It's got all sorts of sort of ladders and stairs, which have got vines sort of twisting up them all the way around. It looks like they've been there for some time. You step through in what appears to be a very high-ceilinged marble archway with gold designs and trimmings all over it. It's obviously elven, but as you step through, you feel a warmth around you. It's warm in here. It looks as though there's quite a few sort of guard posts. You can see there's a guard on either side standing at the ladder to make sure no one else goes up, as they sort of nod to you as you walk through. Do you proceed on towards the town?
Yeah, I just slowly start making my way through. I'm a little bit observant of what's going on. Keeping my head on a swivel for the usual suspects, but otherwise, just heading on in.
Yeah, can I have a perception check from you, please? As you get to about halfway through this gatehouse.
Clearly distracted. Rolled a 3, rolled a 2, got a 5.
So with a 5, you don't actually see much. It looks like a standard gatehouse. You see a couple guards standing by, but they seem to be minding their own business. But yeah, do you continue on in?
Yeah, I just head on in past the gates, wanting to get to a location which isn't as, heavily watched and heavily fortified, maybe a little bit deeper into the city itself, so I can ask the relevant questions I wish to, or do what I want to do from there.
Perfect. As you reach sort of the end of the path, we will come back to you in a moment to describe where you go next. As we then introduce, as you sort of move through the gatehouse, we then introduce, as you step out of scene, so to speak, you have behind us, you hear a sort of halt. As you reach the end, you hear a halt, but you don't turn around. You hear a sort of screech as it sounds like a carriage has come to a stop. As all of a sudden, a carriage pulls up along the path, and you hear a little bit of murmuring, Diego, but you don't, not enough to turn around. But you hear this behind you as we then move to our next player. As the same quiet grey sky watches as we are introduced to our next traveling adventurer. As stepping out of this carriage, which has traveled all this way, we have none other than our next player. As I'd like to invite Elirr to introduce himself to us, please.
You see an Aarakocra kind of scampering out clumsily to a degree out of that carriage. But to his surprise, in contrast to the carriage looking rather adorned, he just has a simple traveler's robe on, and the only thing off color is like a sash that adorns his chest all the way over, and that's the most noticeable feature. It has like beads and gemstones woven into it, and very intricate and not valuable, but like special looking. He stands out quite a bit because, well, he is an Aarakocra, and he has a very imposing figure, looking kind of like a white eagle. Very nice whitish feathers, and his hands are actually more or less claws as well as feet. And yeah, he stands there before the guard, trying to kind of look around, see this big city, looking a bit uneasy. Yeah, trying to go in there.
Yeah, as you thank you for introducing your character to us. As you sort of clumsily step out of this carriage, you see next to you the carriage driver sort of looks at you and goes, "I'm afraid that's as far as we can get you. Master Vibrex said this was as long as we could go, and can't go any further. I gotta go now. We gotta go pick someone up and take them back. So we'll be seeing you." As you see the carriage just turns and heads back down the path, almost, completely ignoring the fact that you've just been dropped here alone with nothing. And before you, as you turn back to the gate, you see, as I described previously, this gate with adornments of elven architecture, marble stone with veins of silver striking through it. You can see that there's all sorts of ivy growing across it. There's a moat with this drawbridge which looks as though it's never come up. It's covered in gravel and dirt and footprints. And you also see a guard who looks at you very puzzled. Hello? Can I help you, sir? Are you here to visit the city?
Yeah, he will kind of see him cock his head suspiciously, like the same way that guard is eyeing him, like he's also imitating almost his movements. Elirr, I'm here to see business. The name is Elirr. I come from the ethereal spire.
Elirr, is that with 3 eyes or 2 eyes? Elirr.
It's an E and an L and an I and an R and an R.
An R, you said. Is it how many R's are? You know what? What's your purpose in coming here today? What brings you to the city of Sylvanthal in all its majestic glory?
I'm here to see a friend of my master. I'm supposed to head to the Merchant's Row.
Merchant's Row? Oh, of course. So you're here for business. Right.
Yes.
Perfect. And you said you were an Arikukra, right? We do get a few of those.
Arakokra.
Arikukra. I do love the way you guys pronounce your R's. As we go through, if you're trying to get to the Merchant's Row, hold on, I've just used up the last piece of parchment here. You can see he sort of flips the pages of his sort of parchment woven together into a almost flip note kind of fashion. As he tears the next page out, he goes, "Okay, well, I've just drawn a map for the other gentleman, but here you go." As he sort of, you can see he's sketching out something using this, what appears to be a bit of charcoal from one of the braziers nearby that he's obviously just picked up to draw stuff around. You can see that he's doing a sort of a drawing. At this point, Elirr, can I have a perception check from you, please?
Sure. Perception.
A 6. With a 6, you don't notice anything. It appears as though he's just drawing a sort of map or something along those lines. He's scribbling away. As you can see, he's written down your name and sort of your state of business. And he then hands to you a piece of parchment. Here you go, Elirr. Right, you said you wanted to go to the Merchant's Row. You're here on business to talk to your master. I saw you just got out of the cab.
My master sent me.
Your master sent you?
Yes, I'm supposed to work for
You're working? Okay.
the Serene Woodweaver.
Ah! Of the Gilded Quill. Yes, that's in Merchant's Row. Yeah, follow your way here. As he sort of, you can see he really harshly presses a bit of charcoal on as a sort of marker is left on this parchment. It's a big sort of dot of what appears to be basically black, just charred pieces of burnt wood. left on this parchment. It smudges slightly as he hands it to you. Just follow the road down here. Go straight across, through the gate. Follow the road. It winds all the way around, and you'll find the merchant row right at the end. It's hard to miss. There's all the people there. That's where you gotta go. Is there anything else I can help you with today, Mr. Elirr?
No, grow inside.
Yes, please, go ahead. Walk on through.
Sure. And he leans on his staff and just kind of goes in.
And you can hear that behind you there's also, it sounds like quite a few people are coming up behind you. You're not the only two travelers today. There sounds to be a bigger group behind you, and you can see that the guard is he sort of gulps as you walk past, as he sees these people. As I imagine they were sort of concealed by maybe your wings as you're standing there. And behind you, just down the road in the distance, is all sorts of people and travelers. This is a major city, so there are people coming and going at all times. It just happened to be that you've arrived quite early in the day, so there isn't too many people at this point in time. But yeah, as you continue through, you get a few looks from the guards. They sort of look at you. You're not the most common species to see around here, or race to see around here in Aarakocra. I would say that, especially being a white feathered Aarakocra, completely almost, and in a robe with a sash across you, they obviously do see you come through as you walk through. So yeah, and you continue on towards the city, I imagine.
Yeah, he walks in. His wings are folded, he doesn't like standing out, especially as Aarakocra. So, as hard as that is, but yeah, he
you
tries
try to
not
keep a low
make
profile.
big thing of it. Yeah.
Perfect. And as you continue on through, I will say that you're also walking on what is initially a sort of dirt path that turns into more of a cobbled street, the same that Diego would have experienced as well. As Diego, as you continued walking along, you would have come across cobbled stone pathways. You would have seen houses on your left and right. Nothing that appeared to be a tavern immediately. It looks as though there's a lot more further in. And I'd imagine, especially trying to keep a low profile, Elirr, you would continue on towards the more sort of bustling crowds where there's a lot of things happening. But yeah, as the two of you sort of walk on into the city, we then pan to our third and final player for today, as we have, across the city, far above the city square, nestled on top of a cliffside hilltop, in none other than a different part of the city. You see, nestled atop a hill in the landmass, sitting amongst marble courtyards and song-filled gardens, the Cathedral of Light. Rising above the ground around it, almost like a promise in sort of carved stone. Inside is light pouring through towering stained glass windows. You see paintings of all sorts of gods, and tapestries sort of inlay the entire walls around you. The polished marble floor hues with a gold, sapphire, and violet, as a sort of illustrious looking carpet runs from the door all the way to the steeple at the end of the tunnel. Bear with me one second. As the ceilings arch impossibly high, and the scent of lavender oil and incense is burning, hangs in a very quiet air. There's a few figures in this church at the moment, in this cathedral, who appear to kneel in silence along the rows of pews looking towards the center of the church. And standing still upon a velvet carpet amid the divine hush is our next player, as I invite our paladin to introduce himself, please.
Yeah, you see standing there, I would assume he's definitely in the back, just keeping an eye on everybody. You see he's easily over 6 feet tall, with a very strong build, heavy plated armor adorned all over them, with a holy symbol that's fixated on his chest plate. They have these big shoulder pauldrons. It just makes him look very unique He's a very unique warforged who stands there with purpose and confidence, suited for someone assigned to protect somebody that he might be with at the time. They have these dark green glowing eyes that is constantly studying what's around them, and yet hides questions of the world that he now lives in. And sheathed on his back is a long warhammer that looks big to a lot of people, but on his back it looks very small in comparison to his overall build. And yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much for introducing your character. Who this paladin, this warforged paladin, your frame sort of gleams as you see on your armor itself appears to be, or on your being itself appears to be, the sort of light bouncing off you as you're gleaming beneath these sort of holy sunbeams coming in from the end of the cathedral here. You've known this area, you work here, you've been here for some time, and it's with your green eye optics that you sort of scan the room around you, the symbols of different runes on every pillar, wisdom, balance, protection. Beyond the pews at the steeple's altar, you can see, standing alone, is Agalon, who you know to be the high priest of Thistledown, god of knowledge. The elder elf's form is still as a statue, his hands clasped in what appears to be an eternal type of prayer. Braziers are lit around him on either side, and it's as if the light coming in from above him, from the stained glass windows, almost pierces through him before going to the rest of the room around him. It's at this moment that, as you're standing here watching silently, you hear to your right, coming down the stairs, a sort of familiar sounding clip-clop as you see emerging from the side behind the sort of pillars ever so quietly is none other than an elven woman who you know to be Evangeline, as she sort of steps out quietly and makes her way towards you. You see before you a beautiful elven woman. She's young for an elf even. She's got dark black hair. She's got piercing blue eyes, very pale skin. She's adorned with what appears to be a almost tiara kind of necklace with a jewel that appears to fall down the center of her forehead. She's wearing long blue and white robes, and she's got ear piercings with all kinds of jewels, and you would know each of these have meaning to her in some way. As she continues to step towards you, you can see that she has what appears to be a basket with it's a woven basket with a white sort of cloth that hangs over either side. As she steps towards you, she then hands to you. She says, Little Shield, would you mind holding the donation basket as we make our way into town?
Of course, ma'am. I can do that for you if you need me to.
Oh, thank you so much. We need to head into town. Today is the day we collect donations. Master Agalon's about to do a service, so we should probably make our way towards the town center. The Merchant Row is usually the best this time of day. There's some very generous souls, especially travelers. Shall we make our way into town?
I'll follow you, ma'am.
All right. My protector, as she sort of steps past you, and you sort of follow her into town. You step out of the church. As you step out of the cathedral, the two of you, you're sort of, do you follow her from behind, or are you next to her? How are you sort of doing this?
It's like he might be like half a step behind her, but like he is, I mean, it's his job. He's protecting her, so he's gonna kind of stand like off tilt to her side, and just kind of keep his eyes looking around.
Perfect. As the two of you step out of the room, you notice that the last thing you see as you're looking ahead of you is most of the time you see elves in here. It appears that both of the church people in here who are on the pews are elven as well. This is not unusual for this time of day, especially early morning. You can see Agalon is preparing some prayers ahead of doing a sort of service at the cathedral for something important. As, yes, Evangeline, the elven lady that you would know has been around with you for some time. She's sort of known you since as long as you can remember. She obviously has a sort of soft feeling towards you and refers to you as her little shield, despite your size and towering over her figure.
I like to think they don't really like the nickname, but he accepts it because she's like the only person he's really close to. So if she calls him something, he's like, all right, I've gotten used to it now. She can call me that, whatever she wants.
Perfect. And as the two of you step out of the cathedral, I would say that some time passes as you guys make your way on this fine morning through Sylvanthal City. As you head towards, so you start walking through Sylvanthal City. You know the area. You've seen what it looks like. This is your neck of the woods. You're very familiar with the city itself, particularly to and from sort of the gates towards the cathedral, less so the other districts like the Harbor District or the Arcane areas. You know sort of that neck of the woods. You haven't really gone past that in your time working as a sort of paladin guard protector for the cathedral. But as you sort of step away, you walk past the palace, you head towards the main area, and you know that to get to Merchant's Row, you would have to cross over an area known as Heartwood. And I will take you to the map so you can see where you are. As we introduce the map of the city of Sylvanthal, this is a major capital city of the elves. It's sort of known as the birthplace of the elves on all of Celestria. It is an illustrious city known for accepting a wide variety of races from all around. It's got beautiful architecture, and magical essences seem to flow naturally through it, weaving with the natural environment around it, almost as if the arcane and the nature of the world itself is in harmony here. You would know that the cathedral sits atop a hill near the palace, otherwise known as the Emerald Court. And as you sort of walk your way down the road, you then turn to in the Heartwood, where you cross down the road and arrive just before the Merchant's Row on the other side of the river, where you can see, as we take you to the edge of Heartwood, where as the two of you arrive from the north together, the two of you arrive from the north together, you see yourself and Lady Evangeline stepping down towards Heartwood itself. Before you appears to be a fountain. You've walked past this fountain many times. You know that around you are sort of little market stalls, some houses. You're familiar with one of the taverns down beneath you with a blue roof. It stands out amongst the other buildings here. And what you notice as you walk down is there appears to be the occasional city guard. Evangeline sort of turns to you as you step here. She says, "Oh, it looks as though the path, there may be a block down below. Maybe some sort of scaffolding. We might be able to squeeze through. It looks like people are working on it. Don't know what happened there. Praise the gods. Hopefully everybody's okay." As you can see, it looks as though there's sort of a scorch mark coming from the building itself. You can see that people are putting up scaffolding. It looks like there's a dwarven gentleman. There appears to be a city guard standing watch. And there also appears to be a elven gentleman as well, who has a hammer to his side, sort of getting ready to sort of work on the scaffolding. But yes, she knows that basically for you to continue down towards the Merchant's Row, where you need to collect donations, you'd have to go south of this position. What do you do?
Well, I like to think he, knowing that there's a crowd forming, I think he would try to take lead and try to keep her close behind him so he can kind of be the front to make people make way for him to push through, and that way they have safe passage to get through the
Perfect.
group of people.
Yeah, so as you sort of you step ahead. The two of you walk down the road towards the sort of scaffolding. You know that to go another route to get to the Merchant's Row, it would probably take you another 45 minutes. You could do it, in theory, and just skip around the other way. But the shortest route, which appears to be locked, but there are people there maybe you could talk to, who appear to be in conversation. They're setting up the scaffolding. You can see there are planks on the floor. There's the occasional bar, but at the moment, it doesn't appear to be blocked in any way. What do you do?
Lady Evangeline, if you want, we could take another route, but
Another
I
route?
don't know if you. There's another route to get there, but add more time.
Well, we could, but it looks as though those gentlemen have set up some sort of planks to walk across. I'm not sure if it's a hole, but we could definitely see if we can get past. And if they send us another way, I'm okay doing that.
All right, let's just keep moving forward, I guess.
Oh, can I stop by the fountain? As you see that she sort of stands next to the fountain and looks down. And you can see that there's the occasional coin littering the bottom of the fountain. Next to the fountain, you've got an elven lady sitting down. She appears to be enjoying what looks like an apple, sitting on the bench. And opposite the fountain, you can see a man, a human gentleman, sort of just... He's pretending as if he's sort of minding his own business. Can I have a perception check from you, please?
Sure. Love perception checks. 17?
With a 17, you can see that he clearly has his eyes on the elven woman across from him. And it looks as though he's very much focused, but with a 17, it doesn't look nefarious. It's as though he's almost smitten, looking at this girl eating her apple.
Oh,
as you can see, he's sort of minding his business and has a sort of blush as you look at him and looks away. They meet eyes for a moment. You'd notice with the 17, and he sort of looks away nervously, but she sort of shyly looks down as well. I'd say with the 17, you see that.
Is she blushing too, or is she? What is she doing?
After she catches him looking at her, there is a moment where, with a 17, you do sort of see her sort of cover her mouth a little bit to sort of before taking another bite. It looks like she's sort of entertaining this. It seems perfectly normal. But it's at this moment. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's at this moment that you see Lady Evangeline pulls out a single piece of coin. It looks as though it's a silver piece. And you can't hear what she's saying, but she seems to make a prayer. And she flicks the coin into the air and it lands into the water. And then she sort of puts her hands together and sort of bows with her eyes closed for a moment, mutters a small whisper. Can I have another perception check from you, please?
Sure. I like these.
With an
Not that one,
11,
though.
with an 11, you can hear that she's clearly making a prayer of sorts, and she seems to have murmured something along the lines of Thistledown or something along those lines, which you know to be the god of knowledge, who she is a worshipper of. As she then continues along, and she sort of looks to you, her eyes wide, she's gained a bit of sort of energy, as you can say, well, shall we continue on? As she leads down towards the sort of the market below.
I like to think as we walk past the dude, I'm on her other side now to separate the two. And as we walk past him, I just kind of give him a stern look, like, like to know his place.
Mm-hmm. And he sort of looks at you. It's hard to work out from your face exactly what kind of notion you're trying to convey, but he gets the message. You've made eye contact. You can see he sort of unsettlingly moves himself away from you to let you pass. As the two of you arrive down, you see that there are a couple of men working to put the scaffolding together and a city guard here, as Lady Evangeline says, excuse me, sirs, would it be possible for us to walk this way towards the Merchant's Row? We're here to collect donations for the cathedral. As you can see, the dwarf and the elf sort of look at each other. Do you say anything or do anything as she says this?
I'm gonna
No.
let her do her thing.
Yeah, as she does this, you can see that the dwarven gentleman looks at you. Are you a heavy man? You might be too heavy for the planks of wood we've set here. Well, little miss, you can definitely go across. This gentleman might be a bit too sturdy. We haven't put in the foundations just yet to get across for someone of his, no offense, of your stature. But I'm sure that Elirr here can let you through. Elirr, what do you reckon? As you see the elven gentleman sort of looks down. Yeah, I don't know. He might be a bit heavy. You could try and jump it.
I can do that.
Okay, well, if you can do it. As you see the dwarven gentleman just steps back as you say this.
Yeah.
You can see that there appears to be a couple planks of wood, which are covering a hole. There appears to be some litter on your side, which hasn't yet been cleaned up. There is on this building here a massive hole in the wall. It appears to be on the second floor, and it covers the roof. It looks as though there's been a fire of some sort here. But yeah, what do you do?
I will motion for Evangeline to go through first, and then once she crosses, I'm gonna go make the jump over.
She sort of like looks to you for almost for guidance as you sort of let her through. Oh, thank you, little shield. As she steps across, and you can see that she steps across, and it sort of jostles slightly,
Yeah.
but she makes her way across and sort of steps to the side.
And once she steps to the side, I don't even wait like a beat, and I just go and make the jump.
Perfect. Can I have either an acrobatics, or it depends how you're trying to do this.
Well, I'm a strong man, so I like to
Mhm.
think I would do a power jump more than anything. If that would be more athletics, like just you putting
Yeah.
in the work on the body.
Is it a
to
running
push
jump?
myself. It's a running jump. Like I
Okay.
am.
I will
beating for
say
it. I'm
that
trying to go more power.
I will say that I'll allow an athletics check then as well, here to get across.
Good, so it's a
As
17.
with a 17, you clear the planks and sort of land on the other side without leaving a mark on the floor as well on the other side. As you sort of land, still with the basket in hand, I will add,
Mhm.
as you sort of get across. We may need to take the other way back. But for
That's
now,
fine.
let's continue on. It's good to know that this is here. As the two of you, I imagine, continue down towards the town.
We do.
Perfect. And as the two of you reach there, I would say that you have now entered the Merchant's Row, as we then have, I will take us to the map, where we can have Elirr and, let's do Diego first. Diego, you arrive at the gates. You've started making your way. All of this has happened around the same time. What's happening now? Do you head directly towards the Merchant's Row as per the map? You've been told essentially that there are taverns and places to sort of get food in this sort of vicinity. Where would you like to go?
Yeah, I think I will. I'll get out of the Gate District, get towards that Merchant's Row, and then Diego specifically. He's had a few rough nights recently, in terms of sleep, and he's he's hopeful that you're in a big old city. Maybe there's some sort of like, I don't know, a herbal remedy making person, or like an apothecary, or like a soothsayer, someone that he can like maybe buy a tonic from to help him sleep at night. So he's sort of angling towards that. So if he sees any buildings or shops that sort of like meet that, he might just pop in just to see if he can buy something before heading towards the alehouse.
Perfect. What we'll do is I will bring you guys to the Market Row, where we see none other than Diego arriving at the edge of the Market District, in Merchant's Row at the south side, coming from the Gate District. As it sort of curves into town, you can see before you appears to be a couple buildings, but you can hear the sort of bustling noise coming from the Market Square. Appears to be like north of you to the sort of west of where you are.
Yeah, I'll just start making my way there. Has it? I'm assuming it's starting to rain.
It started to
At this
lightly
point?
rain. Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's still bright, but there's those clouds that were overhead appear to have opened up slightly, and there's a light rain pouring.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just start making my way. Obviously, tell me if you want me to stop at all, but I will
No,
keep moving along.
you can move your token. It's essentially as you're walking past, there are buildings with what appear to be sort of the backs of stalls or backs of buildings. There's the occasional house. You notice that there was a small sort of bar area that you passed on your way in, which has tables out front, but they don't appear to be open right now.
Did I catch the name of the bar at all?
The bar is called the Star Song.
Ooh, okay.
It's called the Star Song. It looks to be basically a bar that was essentially just open, but it doesn't look like a full-on tavern. It's more like a sort of store for drinks. But outside appears to be a few sort of tables.
Cool.
Yeah, as you arrive
Yeah,
towards...
I double take and just like try and keep a beat on roughly where it is. I'm in a huge city. I'm definitely gonna forget this. But I'm like, that sounds like a cool place. And then I immediately walk into like the market bazaar and I'm just like, oh god, I'm overwhelmed with everything else now.
Yeah, you're now in the market bazaar. You see around you are like sort of like market stalls, tents covering what appear to be little boutiques with trinkets. There's the occasional pots and pans. It looks like there's all sorts here, from fruit and vegetables all the way through to trinkets, potions, armor, that kind of thing. What you do notice... Actually, can I have a perception check from you, please?
Sure. I would also, I'll point out at this point, because we've done a couple of rolls now, Diego's rolls are slightly affected because he currently has 1 level of exhaustion. So he has actually got a -2 to every roll he makes that's a d20 roll.
You are correct.
Just so that everyone's aware. That's a 4, that's a natural 1.
Okay, so a nat 1, even with the negative, doesn't make a difference. A nat 1, you just see yourself lost amongst the chaos. There appears to be people around. It's not super busy. You can walk around. It's not too late in the day. You get the impression that it will get busier the later this goes on. But yeah, do you want to sort of walk around? Is there anything you're looking for in particular?
Yeah, I guess now that we're at sort of like of a marketplace, I'm actually going to look for an elderly person. Someone maybe in their later years of life, someone that looks like they've lived here for quite some time. Maybe a true local to the vicinity.
You know what? Can I have a... Ooh, let's have a history check from you.
Oh, okay.
Or a flat intelligence, one of the two.
Okay, that's an 11.
Within 11, you know that Sylvanthal is the city of the elves. You know that this is Elven district. You also know that elves live incredibly long lifespans in comparison to yourself being a human. Before you, you can see what appears to be a halfling gentleman. You know that despite his sort of younger look, and, you know, he's a lot shorter in stature, he could easily be a lot older than he appears. It does appear... Yeah.
Yeah, I'll approach. I'll, yeah, a little halfling man. And you said he looks quite young though, like as in like middle-aged, or
he looks
young as in like teen.
He looks around your age, but he is halfling.
Okay.
And I
cool.
will say, I will say that you also are aware there are city guards around as well.
Yeah. No, we won't be speaking to them. So there's this halfling man. Is he a shopper or a seller?
He looks to be a shopper. He looks to be looking around.
I'll just walk up to him and I'll just be I'll just say, "Oh, excuse me, good sir. Do you have a moment of your time? Are you from Sylvanthal?"
Oh, well, hello there. Well, no, a human. I'm actually from Brimbleborough. It's quite a while from here.
Nice place. I've been there.
You've been to Brimbleborough? Oh,
I certainly have, yes.
Oh my! Well, welcome to Sylvanthal. Have you been here before?
No. That literally like maybe 20 minutes ago.
Oh, so you're brand new in town then. Well,
Certainly, yes.
What is it that I can help you with, sir?
Like, you see, between two good men, right? I've been having a little trouble sleeping and could use a tonic or herbal remedy or something to help me sleep at night. Do you have anywhere that you could suggest or somewhere that you could point me into the right...
Oh, it's funny you say that, because you're actually standing right outside the building that sells them, funnily enough. Yeah, no, so, as he sort of turns around, and you can see he's sort of trying to get his own bearings. He sort of points you. He steps towards the main market district in the center, where it's back-to-back stalls. He sort of looks to the left. He goes, so that building there, as he points to the building behind you. That building,
I turn around.
The entrance is just over here, as he sort of points down the road towards there. They have all kinds of tonics and berries and all sorts.
Oh.
I actually used to work there. If you see Amara, actually, you know what? Never mind.
Okay, no worries. Look, good friend, you are a treasure to this city. And I pull out a gold piece and put it in his hand, and I close the hand, and I just say, now remember the name. You are lucky to have met me this day. And my name is Diego the Lucky.
Diego
And
the Lucky.
I kiss his hand, and I step away, and I walk towards the tonic place.
Oh my! Should have watched that. As he puts a gold piece in his hand, as do you make your way? As he sort of, you can see he puts the gold piece in his pocket, and then goes back to sort of looking at the stores and stuff. He's maybe talking to the guy behind the counter here, who seems to be selling what looks like just barrels, oddly enough. But yeah, as you continue through.
Yeah, I'll just head straight on up to the shop where the entrance was that he told me, and I'll step on in.
Perfect. As you arrive to the front door of the shop, can I have from you, please, let's have a perception check from you. Or investigation, up to you.
Definitely perception. Still bad.
Cool. As you arrive, let's say you arrive to the front door. As you get to it, even with a 9, you can tell the door appears closed and there's no light coming from inside. It says above it on a sign, which you would still see with a perception check. It says, bear with me 1 second, I should have had this written down. It says just above that, Moonlit Remedies. As you see written across in sort of a faded writing appears to be this sort of Moonlit Remedies, and it looks as though the S has got 2 crescent moons sort of back to back.
But there's no like open or closed sign on it.
There's no sign on it. There's sort of like it's a wooden door with an arched sort of frame, and it looks like it's got like a window on it that you can sort of see through, a barred window, and there's nothing you can see from the other side.
Just try the door?
Yeah, as you try the door, it opens, but immediately on the other side, you spot an elven woman with very pale white blonde hair and bright green eyes as she sort of steps back and sort of sees you. If I just move your token towards there for just a second.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure which building it was.
She sort of pushes you back. Oh, sorry, can I help you, sir? As she steps out.
Yes, I've come to purchase potentially a tonic or herbal remedy or something to help me sleep at night. May I ask, what is your name?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. We've had a couple of, what's the word? Eager halflings. I'm quite popular with them because I buy a lot of herbs off them. My name's Amara Leafshade. I'm the owner of Moonlit Remedies. We're actually closed at the moment for a few renovations, but I can fetch you something. What is it you need exactly?
Look, I have had trouble sleeping. I could use anything to, take the edge off.
We have either I could get you something that's a brew, or you'd need to add some hot water to, or as you can see that she's sort of a little bit bothered by the rain, or there's the occasional, I might have something that's like a salve, which you can rub to help you sleep better.
I'll take it all.
Take it all. Oh, my.
Yes.
Are you sure that'll be at least 2 gold pieces?
2 of everything, please.
2 of everything. That's 4 gold pieces.
Make it 3 of everything then.
6 gold pieces. Okay. Wow. You know what? I'll give you 3 of everything, and I'll throw in something extra from me. As she goes back in and she closes the door, and you can hear the occasional sort of pots and pans moving around. It sounds as though she's like shuffling the occasional oh. And she comes out and she brings to you, in her hand appears to be like a little bag. It's like a satchel, and she hands it to you. You can see that she's got, what appears to be white gloves, and I'd say at this moment, as you're picking up the sort of pack that she's put together for you, you can see that she's clearly doesn't want to make contact as she hands this to you.
As I take it, I grab the gloved hand in a very gentle way, where like the fingers are just over the top of the hand, and I just gently hold on to her, and I just say, "Thank you, Amara." And as soon as I do that, a thought crosses my mind of, her beauty for a second, and I feel like I get that sharp pain at the back of my head just for a moment, and I'm like, yes, tonics, and what is the extra?
She blushes at the touch, and she sort of, as you touch her hand, she sort of looks up at you and makes eye contact, and you can see that she's a little bit, not stunned, but for a moment she's lost for words. As she then retracts and says, that'll be 4 gold, please. Sir, kind sir.
You originally said 6, and I'm not someone to turn someone over, so here, have 8.
It was 6.
And I give her 8 gold.
Oh my, oh, that's too kind. I threw in something extra for you. There's 1 healing potion there for you, as you can add a potion to your sheet. As she's thrown in an additional potion to try and ease some of your ailments. Yeah, that's hopefully you won't need it, but just in case. And if you ever need anything, Moonlit Remedies is always here. Just ask for Amara. That's me. As she sort of blushes.
Amara, usually I would always say that the pleasure has been yours to meet me. But in this case, I would say that the pleasure has been... I've got to go. Okay, see you later. Thank you. And he turns around quickly and walks away.
As you see... Can I have a perception check from you as you're walking away?
Oh.
Okay, with a 15, you spot that peering past the barrels was the halfling gentleman you saw earlier, who appears gobsmacked, and he has that same look in his eyes of just smitten for this girl, as she then closes the door and heads back inside. You hear the door lock as well.
Okay.
As you do so.
And I just kind of look at it and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I just walk off back into the market.
As this is happening, I will say that whilst you're talking, we have Elirr arriving up the path. Elirr, you start to feel the rain begins to open above you. The clouds open and rain is coming down. It's hitting your feathers, but only on the top of your head as you're covered by this sort of robe. But yeah, you arrive towards sort of the market district of Merchant's Row. What do you do?
I will walk up the road, trying to find the scribes, the gilded quill.
The Gilded Quill, yeah.
Yeah, trying to look at buildings if there's any signs or if I can find anyone who might point me in the direction.
As you walk up the road, you sort of make your way up to here, and you don't see anything. You notice that on the right you have the Star Song building. It's very clearly written. It looks closed at the moment, but you can see that through sort of the wall, there's like holes in the wall. You can see what appears to be bottles on the shelves. But you don't see anything immediate as you make your way to sort of here. What you do see is the market district on the left. You notice a halfling gentleman who's just pointed down the road, and a human gentleman that you caught a glimpse of just walking up towards the market there. But yeah, what do you do?
I guess I will enter the square and have a look around.
Yep. As you make your way towards the square, as you reach there, I will ask you for a perception check, please. As you're looking around, I'd say that you have a pretty good vantage point here to look around, so I'll actually give you advantage on a perception check here. So if you could roll perception check at advantage, being of your stature.
21.
Perfect. So the first roll was a 6, but because you have that advantage being taller than the average populace around here, you do see with a 21, you do spot that across from you, past sort of through the market, you see a sign on a wall over here, which appears to say, up here on the left, which appears to say the Gilded Quill. You also, of course, notice the stalls, you notice people around you. The majority of people are elves, and weirdly enough, it doesn't appear as though anybody's really taking much notice to you. This is quite a busy area. People come and go from the markets. You would know in most cities. There appears to be halflings, there's elves, there's the occasional human. You actually overhear, with the 21, you do overhear a sort of dwarven sort of voice coming from the other side of the market stall as well. But yeah, you see the Gilded Quill is up ahead of you. What do you do?
I will kind of duck my head, just keeping a bit out of the rain, but also like just, keeping my head low. And as I walk past the stalls, I will have the occasional look if I see any odds and trinkets, since I'm like very used to that kind of stuff, having had a friend who deals with those kind of things. And then just head over to the Gilded Quill.
I would say that as you walk past this stall here, you spot that there appears to be a odd sort of trinkets and goods vendor. It's an elderly woman. She is, you think, actually with the 21, you would see that she is a halfling lady. She appears to be standing on a stool. She has a bunch of pots and pans, but she also has what appears to be like a few trinkets laid out on the sort of market stall. What is it that you do here? Do you continue to the Gilded Quill? Do you approach her?
I will actually approach the stall and just kind of check through the trinkets if I see anything in particular special, I don't know, that stands out. But then ask the lady if she has anything unique that she can offer, or
Perfect. As you do so, as you step towards the counter, she sort of looks to you and goes, "Ah, hello there. Welcome. Welcome to my stall. We have all kinds of pots created by me. We also have a few pans which have been created by me, and there's a couple trinkets here which, to be honest, I didn't create them. There's a necklace. There's also a leg bangle. As you see, it's like a little chain that you imagine would be sort of an anklet around your sort of ankle. Some of them are collected. Some of them I created. Can I interest you in any of your wares? I must say, I love your feathers."
Well, he will kind of tilt his head curiously as she compliments him, I guess, and thank you. I'm always interested to find like special trinkets to adorn the clothing or the arms and bracelets, and you don't happen to have anything kind of, how to say, magical?
Ooh, as you can see that she sort of, her eyes light up as she then puts on what appear to be like little spectacles that she pushes onto her head, and she goes, "Oh," and she looks around. She looks at the pots and sort of, "Ooh, well, I suppose there is a trinket. Okay, to be honest with you, I don't know what they do, but they do have, I've been told, a magical energy to them. Would you be interested in any of these? As you can see, there's 2 or 3. I would say that you've seen these. A couple look like they've been handmade. They appear to be sort of gold and silver. Can I have a perception check from you, please?
Sure. A 9.
With a 9, you can't discern whether or not which ones have been made by her and which ones haven't. Some of them have, but you can't really see which one has and which one hasn't. She's told you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you see. Can I interest you in anything?
Do you I know magic. Do you mind if I kind of inspect?
Oh,
and-
by all
and see
means,
if
have
I-
a look, have a look. As I'll ask you to do either an investigation. Actually, no, let's have an Arcana check from you as our first Arcana check of the entire game so far. So let's have that come in as you try and sort of feel for a magical
26.
energy. With a 26, you can feel there are 3 trinkets here in front of you. 2 appear to be, they all appear very similar in shape and size. One appears to be sort of like a bangle for an anklet, which you described earlier, and it gives off a very faint arcane energy. You feel this, you're familiar with this from your time in Aetheria, in the Aetherial Spire, and sort of the Wizard Academies, those kind of things. You're familiar with this kind of magic. It feels arcane in nature.
Well, this here it seems very special. I've seen it with my friend Carl, and I would like that.
Oh, this one. As she picks it up, very sort of gently picks it up as she clasps it and lays it out, and it's sort of long, but it has a little clip on the end. It appears to be sort of a silver with what looks to be like a very fine detail of almost like a vine that's been etched into the actual chain itself. For this one, it's 4 gold pieces. Would that be okay? Do you have that on you?
Yeah, I think 5 will suffice.
5? That's awfully generous, but I have to accept it. I've been told. Marley says I have to accept all the tips I get. So,
who is this person?
my husband, of course. He's an elf.
Oh,
Don't ask.
what?
As she sort of hands you this and sort of puts her hand out to collect the coin. There you are, sir.
Do you happen to have a shop? Your husband there sounds like he might have maybe other things.
He's actually one of the guards. He's a sort of gardener for one of the areas, Willow Park. If you're there, you could see him.
Where do you may I inquire? Where do you acquire your goods?
Where do I? Most of them are created. The occasional time we buy and sell them from travelers. This one happens to be one of those. As she hands it to you.
Thank you very much.
As you hand over the 4 gold pieces, and she sort of puts it into a
5.
little pouch. 5 gold pieces, and she puts that into a little pouch, and she sort of thanks you, and then she moves on to the next customer. It's at this point, as you turn to look at the Gilded Quill, that we have, arriving from the north, I would say, we have none other than our last 2 people coming in the Nameless Paladin and Evangeline, as they step down towards the market square. As you see Evangeline sort of like, oh, it's starting to rain, and she sort of pulls out a handkerchief and puts it over her head, and she's got a little white sort of cloth over her head there. I would say that you see with this, she really looks like a priest of the cathedral. She's obviously a priestess of light. She's worked at the Cathedral of Light for some time. It's when she pulls out this sort of white handkerchief with a gold sort of edging to it and places it over her head, she really appears regal. Without meaning to, she appears to be pristine as she continues to sort of step in. And she leads you towards the town center. Do you head into town?
Yeah, and I would like to think as we walk, he's now right beside her as they walk, instead of leading or from behind.
Mm-hmm. As the 2 of you sort of step towards the town center, you hear the hustle and bustle of the town center before you. Evangeline, actually, as you reach the corner, points ahead to where there appears to be an empty stall, an empty space to stand. And she says, "That's perfect. We can set up a little donation booth right there. Little shield. Are you sure you're okay carrying the basket?"
I don't see why I wouldn't be. I mean, unless you want me to be doing something else while we're here.
I'm worried about you getting rust in the rain. Let's get you under the booth up ahead. As she sort of begins to step ahead with you.
I appreciate your worry, lady, but as long as you're safe, I don't really care if I rust.
Perfect. And can I have, let's have it so that you, okay, so you 2 are standing next to each other. Can I please have from you a perception check?
Okay.
With a
20.
with a dirty
Yeah,
20,
20.
with 16
20.
plus your 4, I would say with a dirty 20, you see around you appears to be elven townsfolk. There's a dwarf ahead of you. There appears to be an elf buying some fruit from the corner. There's a little dwarven girl standing, or lady standing on sort of the path, who appears to be looking down towards someone south of her. She seems to have her eyes fixated on something that's going on down there. And she has a very familiar look to the gentleman that you saw earlier, with her eyes sort of ogling something down near the building beneath her. You notice that as you step into the town, there's all sorts of people and noises coming from the town square. You clock that there is an Aarakocra to your right. This is something you... Actually, let's have you answer this. Will you have seen an Aarakocra?
He's probably never seen one, and I think at this point he looks at the bird man over there, and then he looks at Evangeline and goes, "Lady, what the hell is that thing over there?"
Oh, my shield. No, that is one of the many great races given to us and graced to us by the gods. That isn't Aarakocra. Maybe you should strike up a conversation. Get to know their ways of life.
You want me to go over there and talk to a bird man?
Well, we're in the market. I mean, you can always stand with me at the stall, but I don't see any harm.
And
It might
what
be good
if
for you to
something
meet
happens
others.
to you, meet other people, like me?
Well,
That would be nicer than whatever that thing
you can
is.
stay with me if you like, but we must collect some donations. As she continues down towards the main booth here. I won't be far. It's just there.
What about me getting arrested?
Well, you can do it quickly and then come back. Or you can stay with me under this cover here. Up to you. As she sort of steps next to the cover here. You don't have to, but it's good to spread your wings. And I think an Aarakocra is just the person to do that for you. I encourage you to engage with others, to create your own adventures.
Fine. Don't go running off anywhere. And if someone comes up starting some problems, I better hear my name quickly.
Sounds good.
I'll keep an eye on you. And I'll walk over to the...
As you get to
the-
there, can I have a perception
Yeah.
check from you, please?
A perception check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another natural 20.
Another...
Sorry,
another
dirty 20. Dirty 20. Dirty 20. My bad.
Yeah.
Another dirty 20. As you see before you, Elirr in all his glory. You do hear what appears to be footsteps coming from the north, but they're nothing unusual. You hear sounds coming from the south as well. You also clock that there's quite a few guards in town here, so it does appear to be, fairly safe considering there are some other guards folk around. But yeah, do you approach?
I do.
Cool.
And I'll keep a little step back. I'm not trying to get super close to him. But just to angle myself a little bit where I can see Evangeline out of the corner of my eye. And just go, hey there.
Before I engage, how do I perceive him? As much as you like to.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a description here. Hold on. I'll give you a very quick thing. You're standing at the Gilded Quill. You hear what sounds like heavy footsteps coming your way. And can I please ask our paladin to describe how this would appear to Elirr? What do you look like as you enter?
You look at it he is easily over 6 feet tall. He's heavily armored. At first you wouldn't really clock that he's a warforged. You think he is probably a really prestiged warrior in the city. He is someone probably of stature. But as you start to kind of look at him a little bit more, you notice his eyes are glowing, which are not really humanistic. And then you start noticing just little odds and ends, little wiring or maybe bolts and stuff that are going out throughout him. and it probably hits you that this is probably not a living being of sorts, but more of a Warforged who's just really you've probably never seen someone like him. Like he's just so different. Like he's heavily armored and everything.
I would say, Elirr,
That would be my next question. Yeah. Have I
you
ever seen a
you will
Warforged?
have not seen anything like this in your travel,
Okay.
even up to this point. You wouldn't have seen a gentleman like this.
So he just said hi to me, right? Okay. Leo will kind of shy away a little bit, like almost like take a step back and like lower himself. Hello?
What brings you out here to the markets today?
Master, he sent me to go here.
You have a master too?
Well, hier, he raised me, and now send me out to spread my wings.
So, living people can have masters.
Well, he, he found me when I was very little, and so yeah, he took me in there, raised me.
Do you worship a god? Is that who raised you? A god?
No, he's just you know the interior spire?
The what now?
Academy of Magics.
I have no idea what the hell you're on about.
Well, books and odds and things, and
Right.
I will, yeah.
Do you have a name?
Raised me here. He taught me. What was that?
Okay. Do you have a name?
I'm Elirr.
Or what now? Say that again.
Elirr.
Elirr. Nice to
And,
meet you.
How about you?
I don't really have a name. I just go by whatever people call me. Well,
What your dad call you?
my dad.
Well, you didn't just
Sir,
appear.
I was created. Yes, but I'm not a real person. If that's what you're asking.
I would say,
You
as we
look
get,
pretty real to me.
as we get to here, I would say that Diego, some time has passed. You've gone in. The others have walked into town. You've had a couple of minutes. What have you done in this period? After receiving this sort of satchel of goods from Amara, you've spotted that the halfling gentleman appears to be swooning over Amara as she stepped out for just a brief moment. What are you doing next?
I think at this point, Diego's feeling a little bit chipper. He's actually found potentially a resolution to his current problem. So he's got a bit of a skip in his step once again, similar to that when he got entrance to the city. He's now like, cool, on to the next thing. But before he goes, you know, he's at a market. There's all sorts of stuff being sold here. I think he'll just have a little peruse around and see what's for sale, see if anything catches his eye, or if someone catches his eye.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I think so. I think it's Diego's such a carefree, go with the flow type of guy. In this exact moment, he's just gone, let's see what's happening. So he's exactly that. He's seeing what's happening.
Okay.
And he's just gonna have a little mosey on around this little market area.
Can I have your pathing, please?
Well, I came from the south, so
Yeah.
I guess I would go north and round.
Okay. As you go north, as you take a few steps north and reach the corner, you spot a dwarven lady. Can I have a perception check from you to see what you see from her?
Yeah, sure. A lot.
Right. With a roll of a
It's a
2,
2,
which,
which is a 5.
5. With a 5, you spot a dwarven lady. She appears to be quite young, and she's looking at you. She has red hair. She's got what looks like sort of bluey green eyes. She's actually wearing a little bit of armor. It looks like leather armor, maybe, but nothing. She doesn't appear to have a weapon or anything like that. She just appears to be looking at you as you come around. Her eyes are
Yeah, I
focused
would
on
like. I browse the store near me and see whatever's there, and then I like her eye catches mine. Like as I like look towards her, and I keep browsing, and then I realize she's still looking at me, and then I look away and I count to 3 in my head, and I look back and she's still staring at me, and then I'm like, okay. So I turn with a little bit of a flare towards her and step towards her, and I just say, "Hello there. How can I help you?"
And she sort of steps back slightly. I'm sorry. I couldn't help but notice. You've got a beautiful lute.
Oh,
Are you
yes.
a musician?
Some say that I am, some say that, yes, I could be known as such. Have you heard of the infamous Diego the Lucky?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry, are you Diego, the Lucky?
Look, maybe you know me of another title.
Perhaps.
Have you heard of, the Child of the Umbral Moon, Fortune's favorite, or the Conqueror of the Impossible?
No.
Well, you have now. Pleasure to meet you.
Sorry, Conqueror of the Umbral Moon? Was it?
The Conqueror of the Impossible. Because, you know, whatever I set my eyes on, I achieve.
Oh. As you can see,
Just
that
like this
she's
conversation.
like patting herself down.
This conversation right here. I wished to achieve it, to speak to a woman such as yourself. And here we are.
Can
Fate has entwined our destinies to meet at this exact point in time.
As you say that, can I either have a performance or flat charisma roll? Let's have a flat charisma roll.
Not performance?
Not performance. Flat charisma.
Okay. It's actually 11.
11. Okay, you can see that she's a little bit charmed by what you've said. She appears to sort of smile. You can see the corners of her lips sort of upturned slightly. That's awfully kind of you to say. I was wondering, perhaps you could sign something of mine, just in case.
How about
I come
How
across
about
you
one
again.
better? And I reach into my bag into one of the side pockets, which usually has one of my lute picks or my mandolin picks, and I've got like a collection of like 4 or 5, and I reach in without like knowing which one it is, and I just pull one out, and it's this dark blue purple guitar pick with a little crescent moon etched into it, and I look at it and go, give it a little kiss, and I just place it in her hand.
As you kiss it and place it in her hand, she sort of clutches it and says, "Ah, thank you." And you see she sort of steps away. Oh, I'll be seeing you, Diego, as she steps down the corridor. And you turn. Do you say anything?
Remember, today is the day that you met Fortune's favorite, Diego the Lucky.
As you can see, she's sort of got a skip in her step and walks down. And she actually darts into like little corner over here. And she disappears around the corner.
And as I turn and twist on my heels and walk away, he just does like a little yes, like he's gained another fan. It doesn't always happen, but someone's quite smitten with him at this point, so he's pleased.
I would say that as you turn, you spot that the stall next to you that you were standing at has mostly sort of fruit and vegetables. There's the occasional sort of pot or pan. It looks like in the corner there's a human who's selling something from, it looks like it's almost been wheelbarrowed in, but it seems to be maybe leathers and that kind of thing in the corner, and that's sort of what you see where you are. And actually, as you get to there, I'll say this interaction happens, at the same time as sort of Elirr and our paladin are having this conversation. As you get to there, can I ask, please, all three of you to roll for me a perception check?
Oh my god, another nat one.
Wow.
20.
So we have a nat 1 from Diego, which comes to a 4. We have an 18 from our paladin and 20 from Elirr. And I will say
You know what?
Okay.
No. I'm gonna spend a point of luck and re-roll that nat one into something else.
Okay.
I'm gonna use one of my luckies of the day. An 8 to an 11.
An 11. I will say with an 11. Okay. Let me see. How do I do this? I will say that, Diego, you can hear what sounds like almost like a brazier or a fire flickering. That's sort of what you hear. It's coming from this sort of direction. I will say that the other two, Elirr and our paladin, you hear what sounds like footsteps and whispers coming from above. It's almost like hushed tone speaking, and you also hear the same crackling sort of fire sound. And it's at this point where you hear, coming from the road above you, I will say probably Elirr, you hear it first with a 20. You hear what sounds like, now's the time. And Paladin, you also hear this as well, as the two of you hear what sounds almost like coming from above on the road. I will say you have probably about 3 seconds or so to react if you want to do anything.
Does it sound like the way they said it? Like, does it sound like there's some ill intentions?
It sounds very strange. I will say that you would know
Strange?
it sounds strange more
Okay.
than anything. It doesn't. You can't work out whether it sounds ill intent or not. It just sounds strange.
Hearing that, I would like to think,
You're mid conversation with Elirr currently, as you both hear this. And sort of
yeah,
turn.
he stops talking to him and starts to go back to Evangeline. He probably won't get all the way there, but he's attempting to go back to her.
I will say, can I have your pathing, please? You move step by step.
Oh, it's just about he's going direct, like very
As you make it to
direct.
here, you spot down the road. You spot in the corner of your eye a group of people who were hidden by the corner of the building. You see what appears to be four hooded gentlemen, 3 with black hoods, and one which appears to be almost like a priest from head to toe in this robe with a big white beard and a red hood. He appears to be holding what looks like a white, almost bone-like femur, which has a little flame on the end. And above him, above them all, what's strikingly obvious to you is you see what appears to be a rune-like shape in a black and white color. And it sort of hovers above you, as I will please ask all three of you.
Can I?
Yes, Elirr, do you want to do anything? You have 3 seconds.
Yeah. I hear that, like, not coming from inside the building, but behind the building.
Yes,
The sound.
you hear the sound coming from basically up here.
Yeah. I would like to open my wings and kind of go up, like to see above the, like, to
I'd
go
say
higher
you get about
than the building.
I'd say you get about 10 foot up, maybe
Yeah.
5-10 foot up. The same sort of distance that our paladin has walked back to Evangeline.
So I assume it's not. I can't see beyond. The
You
building.
can't see beyond the building. The building's at least 20 foot tall. But what you can hear as you go up is you can hear that the crowd around you, especially from this sort of area, the two people standing in the road there begin to turn, and you can see the elf is turning to walk away, and he has this look of fear on his face. And in the town center, you can see that the dwarf and the elf and Evangeline are all looking down the road here with sort of the whites of their eyes very visible. Diego, what are you doing? Anything at this 3 seconds? Are you still having the conversation? You've barely heard this commotion. You've just seen the
I was going to
crackling.
say, I hear like the crackling of flame and I can hear noise, but I can't really make out what it is, right? I'd argue with an 11.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see the Warforged like emerge from its position and walk out into like the open more area?
I would say that you definitely see him walking towards the stall with this beautiful elven lady with black hair and a blue and white robe. Yeah, you see him walking back.
I think then instead of me seeing what's about to come, I see the raven-haired beauty stood at the market stall and I go, oh my, and I just turn and start heading in her direction, and I guess I take like 2 steps like to here.
Yeah.
And then that's sort of like when the end of my thing is. I'm completely oblivious to whatever's coming down the street.
There, I would say that whilst you're looking that way, you also can see the shadows on the right, as you can just about see around the corner. It's at this point when, as this sort of, it's all happening very quickly, but you hear the sort of final as before you see, I will say the paladin, you don't have a name, so I'm just going to go by paladin. Paladin, you see a bolt shoot past you. A bolt of white energy with a sort of shadow essence around it shoots past you as it fires straight past everybody towards Evangeline. As you just hear a bolt of energy zooming past as it goes straight into her. And you can see there's a sort of bubble around her before you just hear a very faint, very light fall to the floor. And it's here where I ask all of you to please roll for me initiative as we enter our first combat.
Oh, God.
I lay eyes on this woman and she falls dead in seconds.
You just see her, what I would describe it as is you basically see this bolt of energy come in and it hits her square in the chest and sort of puts this massive black orb around her. And then you just hear her body fall. But she appears
and the orb dissipates, or is it still around?
She appears to be still around, still encased in this sort of energy.
Okay.
But yes, as we come to our first combat, as I will just roll initiative so you can all see. Let me set it to public. We have our bandits coming in.
We can't see the initiative tracker currently, just so you're aware.
Bear with me one sec.
There we go.
There you go. You should be able to see that now.
Why did they roll a 19?
Cool. That's actually a 9. And let me roll. Cool, that's a 9.
The same as me.
We have our final one, who I need to set to public and roll, who also rolls a 9. So I'm going to ask... Sorry, go on.
I am going to use my alert feat. And I make... I think in the anger... I don't know, because technically we don't really know each other yet, but I think it's like at this moment my eyes accidentally like move towards Diego, and it's like this... I'm asking like to let me go first. Let's swap initiative order with him.
What is the wording on the alert feat? Just out of curiosity.
Can you
It's
share it in the
any
chat?
allies. It's an ally. You can one willing ally in the same combat.
I would say you guys are technically allies here. I will allow it as a DM discretion that you can. Provided
I don't know you.
provided Diego is willing. That is the case.
I don't know you. And I've just seen you walk towards the woman that was just attacked.
Okay.
But you...
So I'm
You-
gonna say no.
Okay.
And then I need to ask, please, Diego, You're
16.
16.
Is
As
my dex.
you are up first.
Okay.
Perfect. Cool.
So,
How do you respond?
I see the Warforged look at me and almost like stare at me directly for that brief moment, almost asking me to allow him to intercept or to do whatever. Me not knowing really what the situation is, I kind of look at him. Sorry, I do not know who you are. And I will step here. And now once I've come round that corner a bit, I like look and I see these 4 figures. Do they look like battle ready and like what are they doing?
Sorry, I
These
just
4
rolled that last
cultist
one.
looking guys.
So you see, I will describe it to you so you guys have that to go as a reference.
Because they've just cast a spell, right? So I assume that's still in that sort of like animation of doing that.
You see what appears to be a red robe wearing older gentleman. He's about your height. He looks down towards you and he's got what appears to be like a bone shaped wand pointing down. The other 3 appear to be blade in hand at the ready, almost guarding this gentleman. As he sort of
guarding
casting,
him.
Yeah, as he's pointing this down towards you, and it looks as though he's basically got a sort of this bone-handled wand, basically, and that sort of fiery crackle has dissipated. You don't no longer hear that.
And just to confirm, I can't get to Evangeline right now. She's in this dome.
She's in what appears to be sort of a bubble, this sort of black bubble.
Cool. Yeah, it's the color of it puts Diego off even trying to touch it. So he like skids to a halt before it, sees these 4 guys, spins the mandolin round, and immediately just strikes a chord down on it. And as he does, I'm going to cast Twilight Slumber towards the 4 individual people up there. This is the sleep spell, but I've reflavored it to Twilight Slumber. And as I cast this spell, you see Diego plays a very somber note. And as he plays, it's like you just hear the sadness echoing through his music. And a gentle wave of calm seems to go over the individuals. Now it is, and I'm gonna check it up for you so you can see.
Thank you.
Oh, be at first level. So it is a 5-foot radius, which is 4 squares.
Yes,
that's 5-foot radius, right?
Yep.
So I can get all 4 of them in it. Hopefully, that's the plan.
Yep.
They have to make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 14. On a fail, they become incapacitated until the end of its next turn, and then they can repeat the save, and if they fail again, they then fall asleep.
Unconscious.
Okay, so it's a DC
unconscious.
14.
DC 14, so they have to make the save initially.
Alright, let me make that save.
All 4 of them.
And it is a wisdom save.
And as he does it, he mutters under his breath, Hush there, child of land and skies. Rest your head and close your eyes. My name's Diego, I'm who you hear. Please go to sleep now, you have nothing to fear. As he, like, strums that somber note towards them.
Ooh, as...
Okay.
I will say all but the one back on the right. I'll say this one here. I'll put a little marker on them so you can see which ones have been affected by this.
Is it the back 2?
The front 2 are... Sorry, the front 2 are not affected. It's the back 2 who this hits.
Okay, so it's the red wizard and the guard
on the back right. Yeah.
Okay. Back right. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
Correct. So it's those
Sweet.
2 there, as I have a little marker on them. Perfect. And just so I'm aware, on a failed save, they have incapacitated condition until the next turn. Nothing for success. Cool.
Yeah, so on a success they're fine, but on a fail they are incapacitated, so can't do anything, I believe, until the end of their next turn, which they then have to make another save, and if they fail that second save, they then fall unconscious, which is asleep.
Sounds good. Cool.
Immediately I see 2 of them go drowsy, as you start to see this soft mist flow around them like a moonlit mist in like a swamp. the lullaby starts to drift around them, and you start to see like bits of starlight just kind of like shimmer throughout. Two of them start to sway, the other two don't, and Diego just goes, guards! Just like as he just like shouts out because he realizes it hasn't taken full effect in this moment. But that is that's my turn.
Perfect. As we then come to the red hooded cultist or wizard, the red hooded cultist who is incapacitated until the end of his next turn, so we skip his turn. As we then come to the bandit, incapacitated, just so I'm clear, does mean he can't do anything this turn, correct?
I'm
Let me
just gonna
double
check
check it because I need to see.
So many conditions.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's changed at all with the 2020.
I know, that's why I'm not as confident these days with what means what
yes,
anymore.
incapacitated creature cannot take any actions, bonus actions, or reactions. They also have disadvantage
so they can
on
move.
initiative.
So they can move.
Yes, they can move.
Yeah. And concentration is broken.
Additionally, attack rolls against an incapacitated creature has advantage, and they automatically fail strength and dexterity throws. Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. Alright, so yes, these two are incapacitated as we come to the end of your turn. The red hooded cultist sort of sways slightly, and the one in the back, the bandit, sort of also sways. As you then see the other bandits sort of get up in a rage almost and move down towards you guys. I would say that these elven fellows move down to sort of try and get out of the way as you see the very first bandit moves 5, 30. As he moves toward you, seeing you, the paladin, stepping forward towards this this lady who's just been attacked, Evangeline. He basically will swing towards you with a scimitar to try and hit you. With a 21 to hit.
That hits.
As you take 2 slashing damage with a minimum roll. Min damage roll. Perfect. He sort of... You see he slices towards you and it sort of clatters against you, but isn't doing too much damage to you as he then moves past his turn. And we get to the next one who also steps forward 10, 15, 20, 25. Who then sees you, Diego, and having seen you sort of strum this sort of mist towards them, he goes to attack you with his scimitar with a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
As you take 7 points of damage as it sort of cleaves across your chest.
Yeah. Yeah, Diego's looking rough as like blood splatters on the floor next to him.
And that will be the end of his turn as we come to you, the paladin.
Well, they need
Elirr,
to make their checks.
Oh, do they? At the end of their turns?
Yeah, the
My
end of their
mistake,
turns.
My mistake.
I believe that's what it does state.
I think
Let me
it's
just
was
double
it not
check.
at the end of their next turn? If the target fails a second save, at the end of its next turn, you're correct. So they do need to make their saves.
It's next turn, yeah.
This is the two who are asleep, right?
Yeah, so the back two.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. As the bandit
Oh, he's
rolls
asleep.
a nat 1, so he falls unconscious. As he is now asleep on the path, and I'll just put a little, let's put this one. As the red hooded cultist with a 21 successfully remains standing and loses his incapacitation. You can see he sort of grunts towards you. As we then move to our paladin, please. How would you like to
Elirr,
proceed?
what's your dex? I'm gonna ask. Elirr.
Sorry.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's 14.
Okay, I'm like 1 point higher than you. It's okay. All right. Yeah. On my turn, he's pissed, and you see him pull out this warhammer now off to the side, and he's gonna reposition, still staying in combat, but he's gonna get in between these two, and seeing Diego played the lyre, he's gonna assume this guy is probably going to help, hopefully against these other people. So he's gonna grab his warhammer and just kind of bring it down on the bandit next that attacked him.
Okay, the one that attacked
trying to Diego.
Diego. Okay.
Yeah, trying to help him out
Perfect.
with a 15.
15 definitely hits.
12 damage. As he just takes his warhammer, brings it up, and just
As you just clash this warhammer for 12 points of damage, you sort of two hands swing down on him.
No, it's
and-
one hand. It's one-handed.
one-handed?
Yeah, and he just brings it down on this dude's head.
As you just swing this hammer on him, you see that he is knocked straight down. You've killed this man.
Thank you!
As you see his head basically cleave inwards as he falls to the ground. Yeah. Is that the end of your turn?
Do I have anything for a bonus? No. That is it. That's all I can do.
That's all. You're just gonna kill the guy on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I killed the guy and.
Yeah,
Moving
cool. So that's the end of your turn. You successfully killed one in one hit, which I did not see coming. As we move to...
Confession.
Yeah.
I got hit. I have to make a con save.
Oh.
Oh my god,
Concentration.
good. Concentration's still up.
Cool. As we then come to Elirr. It's your turn.
Elirr, seeing these people being attacked, he will continue to rise to kind of get onto the roof. And
Okay.
hopefully see the people that are behind.
I would say it's another 10 foot up, so you'd have to go 10 foot up, so that's 10 foot of your movement to go up. Another 10 foot. And then you're on the level of the rooftop, basically.
Yeah. Which means I can take 4 steps, right?
Yep. From there, you can take 4 steps from where you are.
So I guess I've moved there.
Yeah, you could do that.
I can see them.
You can see them. It sort of
red
slants down, and you can see above both of the two now.
Yeah. So I can see one of them is on the floor sleeping. I will cast Magic Missile and try to hit the most imposing of these figures, the red hooded one,
Perfect.
who's
Put that
in
into-
my understanding most likely to have cast the spell.
Mhm. If you could throw the spell into the chat as well for me, please. So is it's a 4 to hit, right? Or is that looks like the
It's a
damage roll?
4 to hit. So
Oh,
do
is
I?
Is
No,
that
that's
just
the
straight
damage.
because magic
What?
missile always hits, right?
Magic
Come again.
missiles auto hit.
Thank you.
Always hit, right?
Yeah. So can you just throw the spell into the chat for me, please? Just so I can.
How do I do that?
On
Oh,
your
never mind. I know. Yeah. Now it's there.
Yep, perfect. Cool. It's just so that I can see it as I'm reading in case
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
anything that's changed between this one and the last 2014 rolls. As you can see, so it's 1d4 plus 1 force damage to a target. The darts all strike simultaneously, so it throws a total of it. I believe it's 3, but it doesn't actually say.
3
Oh,
of
it is
them,
3.
yes.
It is 3. Yeah. So 3 glowing darts. So yeah, that's the first one. Is 4 points of damage. Yep, it hits.
Yeah. So I just click the damage again.
Yep.
I guess no. No. Where do I click that then?
So you cast it again, basically.
Oh, there.
Yep.
Okay.
And one more time. For a total of 10 points of
And
damage.
all on the red. Yeah.
As you
They
see these
strike
just cleave into
simultaneously.
the body of this sort of cultist leader over here. And you can see he's looking quite bloody.
Okay. And I will lie down on the floor if I can, like on the roof.
You can try to lie down on the roof, but it is slanted, so you're
Oh,
sort
it's
of...
landed, so I will slide down. Okay, never mind. I
So,
understand.
yeah. It's also wet, so, you know.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I will keep. No, fine.
Cool. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
As you hear the guards begin to sort of step up and move, as one of the people in the vicinity around you screams, "Guards!" and they heard Diego scream as well for the guards. As you hear just footsteps of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see a guard stand around the corner. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As he rises to here and sees before him a dead body on the floor, as he pulls his sword out and blows his whistle, as he then moves. I would say he'd action dash probably. Yeah, he would action dash. That's 1, 2. He'd go over to check the body. He'd see the body, and as he gets to here, he would look to you, Diego, who looks worse for wear, and sort of try to protect you. So if someone did come to attack you, he's going to hold his... oh, no, he doesn't have an action. He would stay there to try and protect you, as the other guard also would action dash 15 to be in the vicinity of the bandit here who... What are you doing? And that'll be the end of his turn. As we come to you, Diego.
This hurts so much. You. And I point towards the wizard at the top, who's like starting to get his bearings and looking around. I saw what he just did to this poor woman beside me, and I'm gonna use Whispers of the Night, which is my reflavored vicious mockery.
Okay.
As I like point out towards him, and just with 2 chords of my instrument, just like a ding 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 ding, like I just start playing, and I just start to whisper, and as I start to play and whisper, you just see these like hush, like sort of like drift off from me towards him, and it like snakes over to him. You start to see stars very faintly become more opaque, start to float round him, and he starts to hear the echoes that are sapping his confidence and causing self-doubt within him. And I need him...
Before it reaches him, he casts Counterspell.
Wow, okay.
As you see your spell, basically, as he sort of swings his bone sort of wand, sort of blocks, sort of creates like a barrier as he sort of whispers that you describe sort of bounce off it and hit the ground beneath it.
Interesting. Okay, so he removes that. That's my action. I think in that case then, Diego will take a step. Oh no, because she's still in that bubble. Yeah, he'll take a step, just 1 step behind the bard, the guard, sorry.
Yep.
And he'll reach into his tonic bag, which he's like clipped to his side, and he pulls out this vial that this woman's given me extra for free, and he just pops the lid and just quaffs the potion of healing.
Yep, as you can then roll for your health points from your potion, which I believe is 1d4 plus
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. My mistake.
For 8. I took 7, so perfect.
As you're now fully back up to full health.
I am.
Is that the end of your turn?
That is everything, yeah.
Perfect. As we then see the red cultist sort of step forward. He notices you, Elirr, standing above. You've just attacked him. As he looks to you, and you see he raises his bone handled sort of wand and points it towards you, as he casts what is a guiding bolt towards you, with basically I will need a 5 to hit.
I kind of that misses. I'm on. Yeah.
As it sort of goes straight past you, and you hear that same sort of sound that goes past you. This is not just a normal guiding bolt. It is an energy of sort of crackling black and white flame goes straight past you. He sort of steps to the side and steps basically to the edge of the road there, looking down towards you, the paladin. As we then come to the bandit who's sort of caught up in the mix of everything here. And he will, with his scimitar, swipe towards you, the paladin, with a 10 to hit.
Misses as his shield just kind of bank.
As he sort of slashes against your shield and bounces off. As he sort of grits his teeth. You see that he, seeing himself in this predicament, he sort of steps away from the guard and from you. I will say the guard would obviously try to apprehend. With his reaction, would probably use his spear to sort of try and get this guy. As a 12 does hit and does 7 points of damage. As you see, he sort of takes his first hit. Stop there! Stop where you are! As you have a chance to stop him or attack him as he's running away.
Is he going away from me as well?
He's
then?
running
Oh,
up.
then yeah, I'm taking a hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I ask? So you're just what? How are you doing this?
The warhammer that I just slammed that dude, almost take it. I just swirl it towards him and try to catch him on his side.
And that's what you're doing. Okay, perfect. Good to know. Yeah, a 23 definitely
23?
hits. Definitely hits.
And that is for 11 damage.
As you cleave into this guy, and his body with the force hits the wall and falls to the floor as he is completely slain here in front of the guards.
And now it's my turn.
And now we come to your turn.
Yeah, and I look towards the red wizard and I just start like running at him, like full on moving towards him. I can get right up to his face. And I will make like a little jump and just sling the hammer down, attempting to smash him. With a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a 9 damage.
Can I ask you to describe how you kill this red-hooded wizard, please?
He is beyond mad. You just attacked the only person in his life that he's cared about. So he just comes running, and as he does, he makes a leap in the air, and he just comes down with it's like a Thor. You know, in Thor when he comes in and just slams his hammer, that's what he does onto this guy. He's just right onto his head, just slams his warhammer down onto him.
As you do so, his head cracks open and blood gushes out the sides as he falls back, and you just see the body fall limp. His hand stretches out as this wand flies out from his hand underneath what appears to be sort of like a canopy of the building over here. You still have a bandit who's sort of unconscious on the street. Is there anything else you're doing with your turn?
I just turn back to Evangeline.
Okay. Do you move back or do you just turn back?
How much did I move there? 10, 15, 20. I can move 5 feet back, so I go 5 feet forward. But
Perfect.
I am attempting to run back towards her.
Yep. And as you do so, I will say we'll come to Elirr. But Elirr, you can hear from above you what sounds like, again, these sort of like metallic steps coming from above. And I will say that where you are, you hear... you can actually, you know what? From where you are, because you've got the advantage of being above ground, you can definitely see at the head of the road appears to be a ton of guards coming towards you. Led by what appears to be a red-haired elf who looks to be a knight himself with like a red blazer on him. What do you do as you've got one bandit left asleep?
Since he's... Yeah, I will ignore him because he's sleeping, or like he's down on the floor, and I will actually kind of try and fly down towards the lady that was hit.
Yep, and as you
However
guys...
far I can go.
As I would say you come back to the ground, and as you guys do so, you see that this sort of energy that she was encased in, this sort of bubble, it sort of dissipates slowly. She appears to be lying there, motionless, still. Her eyes are wide open, and the blue, the piercing blue color that you would know, Paladin, that you would know, it's now hollowed out. It's white. You see pupils in just a white iris, sort of gray color. She's motionless, and you see from her mouth comes a sort of mist. It's almost like she gasps an air.
Does she appear to be breathing at all?
I will say, you guys, with the bandit asleep, I will say that is where combat ends.
Okay.
And it's with this, before you can do anything, the guards say, "Stay where you are," and put up their spear towards all three of you. So you can see Elirr on your right has a spear put up towards him. You can see that Diego has also got a spear held up towards him. And you can see they're both looking at you.
There is a woman! They are injured!
I
Let me help
ignore
her!"
them. I run up to Evangeline. I ignore them.
I would
And
say
I
you
will-
have the opportunity to do that, yeah.
I'm gonna bring her into my arms, and his hand, he's done this before. He's not something he's really used to. He doesn't like doing this, but it starts to glow as I'm gonna try to lay on hands and see if I can maybe bring her back.
You can try. She doesn't appear to be injured, but you can try use lay on hands.
Yeah, I'll use all of what I got, which is only 5 hit points, if that will somehow do something for her. As you just see him, like, for once in his life, like, even because he's a robot or a warforged, they don't really convey emotions well, but in this moment, like, it does seem like he's freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Or they are freaking out, in a sense.
Yep. So you cast lay on hands on this.
I do.
Yeah.
And in the background of this whole scene, all you can just hear is Diego going, "Who's going to pay to fix this tunic?" As like you can clearly see he's like cut through. He's got like blood smeared all on it. So he's like, "We need to help these people, you idiota!" As he's just like shouting at this guard.
As the lot of you... Okay, wait, let's come back to... Have you cast lay on hands?
I did. Oh, I can put it in the chat.
Yeah, if you could put it in chat for me, just so I can see exactly. Perfect. I just wanted to see it. So it says that the blessed touch can heal wounds. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. That pool you can restore up to 5 hit points. As an action, you touch a creature. You can cure multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons with a single use of lay on hands, expending hit points, etc. What is it you're trying to do with this? Is it just a general looking for something?
He doesn't really. Yeah, he's just trying to see if he can bring her back.
I will say, as the guards are arriving and coming in, you see a couple of the guards are stopping by the bodies of these slain bandits and the red hooded cultists. The other 2 of you are being held at spear point and told to stay where you are. As Paladin, as you're trying to heal this lady, you feel behind you a presence of a guard coming in, and you feel. Actually, can I have from you, please, let's have a Arcana check from you. 21. You feel a holy energy coming from behind you, a radiant energy. It's very, very strong. It feels like there's an energy, a presence behind you as you're casting this, beyond that of what you have the capabilities for with your lay on hands here. As you try to touch Evangeline, nothing happens. She appears to be motionless. She's lying there, but what you can tell being this close, she's breathing. She just appears unresponsive as she lays there. And it's at this moment where the guards, Diego, he says, "You're under arrest," as he pulls out his manacles.
"You're under arrest!"
And
I'm just like fighting him back.
do you fight back?
I'm like pushing. I'm
You
like,
pushing?
"Get off me!"
He
Yep.
he will try to put you in the manacles. Do you resist?
Yes.
As you try to resist, I'm going to need you to do a contested strength check with me, please.
As he's the aggressor, can
Yep.
I use acrobatics instead?
Because
Because I'm trying to I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to more slip out of his grasp as opposed to
Yep.
wrestle with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Oh my god.
As
Okay.
he so you roll the 7 with your acrobatics.
Oh!
As you try and sort of sidestep, as he clasps very strongly these manacles on you and holds you in his.
I don't give consent.
As he holds you to question Elirr, you also hear behind you the guard saying, "You're under arrest. You'll have to come with us. We just need you for questioning. People have died on the streets. Someone will have to answer."
That's okay. And he just has his hands very timidly down, like he's not trying to appear any
As
aggressive way. His
The
wings folded,
guard
just look very
notices
timid.
this, and I would say the captain also sees you willingly put your hands forward to be clasped in the manacles as the guard sort of holds you in place. And I will say that our paladin, you feel on your shoulder just a handprint touch your shoulder. And he looks to you. He looks down at you. Do you look up at this gentleman?
I do.
As you see before you a striking elven man with short red hair, elven-like ears, bright green eyes, and what appears to be, as you would know being part of the city, what appears to be a captain's badge on his sort of shoulder. As he looks down to you, he says, "I am Captain Lysander Emberleaf. I'm afraid you'll have to come for questionings. There's nothing you can do for her here. We will ensure that her safety is looked after."
I am her sworn protector. I'm not leaving her side.
You'll have to come with us, as he will ask you to he will put out the manacles.
He still has her in his arms. Like, he's holding on to...
He will put out
And
the
he's
manacles
not.
in front of you.
He doesn't take it. He's looking. He's just not leaving her side.
There's nothing you can do for her. And we will take her with us to the holding
You're
cells.
not taking her away from me.
As you then see that he tries to pull you to the side to put you in a manacle.
You can try.
I'm going to ask for a contested strength check, please.
Yeah, that's fine. 19?
Oh, I whispered to GM.
Can I do something during
That's a
all
21.
of this?
You are currently manacled. As
But,
you feel...
Can I give a bardic inspiration to someone as I'm being manacled?
I would say in
Hey,
this
guy, help me!
in this moment, I would say it's a post
No.
roll. So I'm
No,
going
it's
to
fine,
argue
it's
not
fine.
at this point.
Okay.
And for the first time in your life,
Yeah.
Paladin, you feel an unbelievable amount of strength as he clasps your hands, and you can see after doing so, he puts his hand onto, or towards, not onto, but towards Evangeline, and you can see he's sort of feeling the presence. He's sort of going across her body, and he looks at you and he says, "This is necrotic." And that is where we call tonight's session, as all three of you are currently in the manacles of the city guard, having slain people in the streets of the bustling Merchant Row Market Square. We call our sessions there. Evangeline laying on the ground, cursed or otherwise affected. And I thank all of you for being part of the very first 0.5 session, as you guys are actually the first session chronologically. So this will be interesting to see how it plays out. How do the other sessions end? Let's wait and see. And until next time, thank you all for playing, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.